The majority of Satoshi Nakamoto's coins have remained in place since the beginning, making him the original holder. Theoretical riches of the anonymous person who created Bitcoin is a hot issue, and the mainstream media particularly enjoys delving into it. Satoshi is now one of the top 50 richest individuals in the world thanks to the record-breaking highs reached by Bitcoin in recent weeks. Whale Alert has discovered a Bitcoin wallet that has sent more than 50 Bitcoins and has just come back online after being idle for 11 years. Currently, some business insiders are discussing a possible connection with Satoshi Nakamoto, the alleged inventor of Bitcoin. A sale of Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoins may be in the works. What motives might he have? Stay tuned to this video as we look into why he might be willing to sell and also what his reasons might be. Official accounts claim that Satoshi Nakamoto, an unknown inventor, invented Bitcoin in 2009. Since then, there have been several hypotheses and conjectures regarding the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto and the motivations for his invention of Bitcoin. For instance, Craig Wright claims to be Satoshi but has never been able to provide any evidence. Even though the CIA claims to have cracked the legend of the BTC founder's identity in 2018, the true name of the person using the alias Satoshi Nakamoto has not yet been made public. Recent research has revealed a transaction from a wallet that might be Satoshi's. Before we go more into that story, let's delve into the history of how Bitcoin came to be. History of Bitcoin. In 2008, a person going by the name Satoshi Nakamoto published a paper outlining the workings of Bitcoin, the world's most important digital currency. 2 months later, he released the source code for the initial version of the software that would allow individuals to produce and exchange the money. The study was groundbreaking because it pulled together ideas that others had been working on in the field of digital currency. It solved the problem of transferring money in a safe and secure manner without having to rely on third parties or even the other party in the transaction. But who was the mysterious author? Who exactly was Satoshi Nakamoto? The document was written in a style that used we instead of I. This might have been a deception. If not, it implies that the Bitcoin concept was created by more than one individual. Over the following 2 years, the person, or individuals, calling himself Satoshi Nakamoto, collaborated with volunteers to improve the program until contact ceased one day in April 2011. Bitcoin's roller coaster ride. Bitcoin's value has risen and fallen dramatically since then. It has not yet caused a disruption in the global financial system, but it has persisted. This continuous interest in the currency has been spurred in part by China, whose Bitcoin market accounts for 81% of total Bitcoin trading activity. But why is disclosing Satoshi Nakamoto's genuine identity so vital to so many people? The answer, like with nearly everything related to Bitcoin, is difficult, and it will very certainly stay unsolved until the person or individuals behind the Satoshi Nakamoto persona step out and try to show that they are Satoshi. The digital age has given us the capacity to receive immediate solutions to practically any question. There are numerous unsolved questions about Satoshi Nakamoto. Several hypotheses. Several explanations have been advanced to explain this, including the possibility that the creators were concerned about the legality of producing an alternative currency. This would have been valid when cryptocurrencies were being probed for their ability to facilitate financial crimes and other illicit acts. However, this argument does not explain why they would want to stay anonymous now that Bitcoin is widely recognized, despite its affiliation with crimes. Another opinion is that Satoshi Nakamoto was mindful that Bitcoin should be a fully open source project with no leaders dictating how it should operate and progress. This viewpoint has merit. However, one of the reasons the Bitcoin community may be hoping for the advent of a true leader who can lay claim to ownership is that the Bitcoin developer community is currently divided on how the future software should function. These debates occur in other projects, such as the operating system Linux. But in the case of Linux, there is a leader, the creator, Linus Torvalds, who may serve as the final judge in these conflicts. The most fascinating topic, and likely the reason for the media's fascination, is the location of 1 million Bitcoins that Satoshi Nakamoto is said to have access to. That is worth over US $420 million at current market prices. This hoard does not appear to have been touched, prompting the question, why not? One belief is that selling the Bitcoins will lead to the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto's being revealed. Another viewpoint is that the Bitcoin creator would not want to send a selling signal to the market by selling huge amounts of Bitcoin. Based on rigorous research published in 2013, the quantity of bitcoins controlled by Satoshi Nakamoto is largely believed to be 1,148,800. Evidence suggests that the majority of the first 36,000 blocks were mined by a single machine, which could only have been Satoshi's. At the time, the price per block was 50 BTC, and 63% of the 1,814,400 granted were never spent, leaving Satoshi with nearly 1.1 million BTC. Satoshi Nakamoto is now worth around $16.8 billion. Add another $3.4 billion in Bitcoin Cash and $370 million in Bitcoin Gold, and you have a total asset value of $20.5 billion. Of course, this is all hypothetical, since most people actually believe Satoshi's coins may never move for a variety of reasons. Nonetheless, Satoshi Nakamoto's unclaimed billions position him 37th in the world's wealthy list, ahead of Microsoft founder Paul Allen and only $5 billion behind George Soros. Satoshi Suzuki, the founder of Satoshi Cosmetics, is the only Satoshi to appear on Forbes' list of billionaires. With a wealth of only $1.3 billion, he is ranked 1,567th. If and when Bitcoin reaches $60,000, Satoshi will surpass Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, who have $75.6 billion and $86 billion respectively. Did Satoshi Nakamoto transfer any of his Bitcoin? A probable transaction from 11-year-old Bitcoin wallet belonging to Satoshi Nakamoto has been reported by Whale Alert. The Bitcoin on the wallet was discovered in the first month following Bitcoin's official introduction in 2009. 50 BTCs were relocated in February 2009. There aren't many individuals that can do this, perhaps Satoshi's close associates. The question is why, not who, sent 50 BTC for the first time in almost a decade. Nick Carter, a partner at Castle Island Ventures, says on Twitter that this transaction is exceedingly unlikely to belong to Satoshi Nakamoto since it lacks the so-called Patoshi pattern, developed by RSK software designer Sergio Lerner. The pattern takes into account nonces, which are arbitrary numbers utilized in Bitcoin's proof-of-work consensus mechanism. The nonce is a 4-byte field in a block header that is changed by miners such that the hash value of the block would be less than or equal to the network's current target hash value. Due to an ancient fault in the Bitcoin code, Patoshi blocks feature a different nonce pattern from the other miners' blocks. A recent transaction study reveals that this pattern was not employed in the 50 BTCs that have now been transmitted, making a putative tie to Satoshi Nakamoto improbable. Carter goes on to say that there were numerous other miners at the time who may have also mined Bitcoin. However, it cannot be confirmed or ruled out with certainty that this was Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet. At the very least, this is quite implausible. Other Satoshi addresses have also profited from anonymous donations, but it is Bitcoin's first and most renowned address that has garnered the most transactions. The 50 coins that were granted after the Genesis block was created are, ironically, unspendable. Block 0, as it is called, was not added to the blockchain due to the way Bitcoin's first block was designed. It is unknown if Satoshi did this on purpose or not. When someone transfers Bitcoin to Satoshi, they're basically relegating those coins to eternity as an unspent transaction at the Genesis address. There have been several sightings of Satoshi Nakamoto based on a variety of different leads. Many individuals appear to be hoping that the innovators' identities will not be exposed. The mystery and ambiguity are almost certainly vastly superior to reality. Others, on the other hand, believe that the Steve Jobs of Bitcoin will emerge and propel Bitcoin and its underlying technology to new heights. If Satoshi Nakamoto is still alive and well, it's reasonable to presume he has no desire to access his Bitcoin vault. Based on what little is known about Bitcoin's founder, it's difficult to envision him having an unexpected desire for the high life. Satoshi's ambitions do not include being a millionaire playboy. Given that Satoshi Nakamoto possesses more Bitcoins than anybody else on the planet, more Bitcoin is the last thing he needs. But that's exactly what's been going on for the past 8 years every week. Not only has the value of Satoshi's assets increased, but so has the quantity of them. Personally, I believe it is preferable that Bitcoin remain a community-driven initiative, as this appears to be Satoshi Nakamoto's initial aim. Guys, how was today's video? Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and keep an eye out for more interesting content on your screens. Stay tuned and healthy!